And, now we're finding out Obama's role in the latest indictment against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. I'm going to detail that in the beginning, but there's a lot more, too. I mean, just nonstop breaking news. Here we go.
Visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
It's showtime.
Since 1977, it's the Steve King Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Welcome, one and all. It is Thursday morning. Can you believe already? Thursday morning. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. We've got a lot to cover on the show today. Today is a big day because today's the day that President Trump is getting arrested again. Can you imagine? You know, President Trump, he's had a life of not even jaywalking, and now all of a sudden they got him indicted more times than El Chapo, and he's being treated like El Chapo. But now we're getting some information on Obama's role in the indictment in D.C. of President Trump, and I'm going to detail that right here in the beginning. We have got a lot to cover on the show today. Your calls are also welcome, toll-free as always, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. This is in the Gateway Pundit. Barack Obama quietly huddled with Joe Biden at the White House on June 27th to discuss a strategy to defeat Trump in 2024. So here you have Barack Hussein Obama and Joe Biden obviously agreeing that Donald Trump's going to be the nominee. So they're in a panic. What are they going to do? Obama privately warned Joe Biden about Trump's massive popularity, and Obama promised he would do everything possible to help Biden get reelected. By the way, this is also being reported in the Washington Post, a proud liberal paper. Shortly after the Obama-Biden White House huddle, Trump was indicted again by the federal government. Biden is running the same campaign strategy as Ron DeSanctimonious. Get Trump in jail. I'll be the only one. Let me tell you something. If Donald Trump is not on the ballot, I'm going to go and write him in. And I hope everyone else does that too. I don't even know how to do that. I've never written in a candidate before, but I'm going to find out. So Ron DeSantis and Walmart Melania thinking that, well, if Trump's not on the ballot, they're going to have to vote for you. And come on. No, it's not going to happen. So shortly after the Obama-Biden White House huddle, Trump was indicted again by the federal government. So this is the campaign strategy they came up with. We'll put him in jail. This is what they do in Kenya. Oh, yeah. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this wonderful? And, it doesn't seem this way. But do you realize that Obama was elected 15 years ago? Can you believe? 08. 15 years ago. And when Obama was president for 8 years, he did a massive hiring spree for those 8 years of the federal government. In fact, probably what Obama's main agenda was infiltrating every nook and cranny of the federal government with his hires, which mean radical Saul Alinsky disciples. So 15 years after Obama became president, what we have is an entire bureaucracy that is run by Obamaites. And some of them have been there for 15 years in the bureaucracy. So they've been promoted up through the ranks and are now the supervisors at all the government agencies. The Washington Post reports Barack Obama, at a private lunch with Biden earlier this summer, voiced concern about Donald Trump's political strengths. I know, it's so concerning, isn't it, Obama? When the American people have a favorite that they like and it's not one of your people? I mean, we got to do something about this. The American people are deciding and they disagree with us. Barack Obama had a private lunch with Biden earlier this summer and voiced concern about Donald Trump's political strengths, including an intensely loyal following, a Trump-friendly conservative media ecosystem. Ooh, am I a part of that? Am I a part of the Trump-friendly conservative media ecosystem? If I am, I'm proud of that. And a polarized country. Country's not polarized. Just because we don't support you and your communist Marxist agenda, just because we don't like a guy who takes bribes being president, we're not polarized. Obama went on, underlining his worry that Trump could be a formidable candidate. After the Obama-Biden lunch held in late June in the White House residence, wow, that wasn't even in the news. Does anyone remember any news stories about Obama having this private lunch? After the lunch held in late June in the White House residence, Obama promised to do all he could to help Biden get reelected, according to two people familiar with the meeting, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to the Washington Post. That commitment was a welcome gesture for the White House at a time when they got cocaine laying around. No, that's not in the Washington Post. The commitment was a welcome gesture for a White House at a time when Biden is eager to lock down promises to help top Democrats, among whom Obama is easily the biggest star. I'm reading from the Washington Post. That's why it's all this press agent BS. For what is likely to be a hard-fought re-election race. The contents of the private conversation have not been previously reported. However, the next step has been to indict Trump again. Trump was previously indicted on 37 counts. And yesterday, when I started, so Obama, this was Obama's idea. Hey, in Kenya and where I grew up in Indonesia, this is how they roll, Joe, and the people accepted. Well, this isn't Kenya or Indonesia. All right? But that type of mindset is what's running this government. So it now looks that if it was Obama who organized this whole thing, it's a pretty big deal, arresting a president of the United States. And you'd have to have some heavy hitter like Obama come in. So Obama came in and organized the whole thing. Now, yesterday at the start of the show, I said, I'm not going to waste time debating the charges in the indictment. And I stick to that. The indictment is nonsense. It's a complete fabrication. I'm not going to sit here and discuss the First Amendment and the different charges. That's in their ballpark. That's what they want you to do. This right now, I've heard it during every election. This is the most important election ever in history. And that's mostly rhetoric. This one is, though. This is the most important presidential election of anyone's lifetime who is currently alive. Because as I said yesterday, quoting Mr. Lincoln, this election will decide whether America is free or enslaved. Are we going to be run by the weirdos like Jack Smith, bitter tyrants like Merrick Garland, senile old coots that take bribes like Joe Biden, and communist like Barack Obama, or are we going to be a free country that chooses our leaders and have a representative democracy and a republic? That's what this election is all about. Where are the Republicans? Where are the Republican leaders standing up for Donald Trump? I'm going to be watching today when Trump goes to Washington, and let's pay careful attention not only to who is with President Trump, but who's not with him. Now, we're going to take our first break of the day. Our lines are open at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you are calling from. Someone just told me Vivek Ramaswamy is supporting Trump. Really? Has he dropped out of the race and endorsed him? Saying that this is wrong and I'll pardon him is not supporting him. Vivek, I don't care if Tim Pool and all the millennial girls on Instagram think you're cool. You're not with Trump if you're running against him in the primary. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a...
Oh, man. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. This is the, and by the way, whoever told me to stop screaming, F off, all right? I'm pissed off. They're arresting Trump, and I'll scream all I want, okay? Please. If this doesn't piss you off and get you fired up what they're doing, well, you're probably a liberal.
Professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners to dial 833-283-50,
Exactly. Man, oh man.
receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer.
Who cares about Vivek? You're gonna hand over the country to a kid you don't know anything about?
283-5050.
I've been talking about it because all these millennials, like at the Daily Wire and the Daily Caller, you know, because he's a millennial, they just think, you know, there's Lord of the Flies things going on. If you're running against Trump in the primary, you're not with him. That's it. Oh, I love bananas, but I am very allergic to them. I can eat them. I just can't breathe that for hours afterwards.
All the locals out there, it's time for a deal. Half price entrees? Yep, you heard me right. 50% off all dinners from 4 to 6, Wednesday through Sunday. And 20% off the whole entire menu to go, including the best thin crust pizza in town. Forget about it.
What's BS? Call me on the air if you disagree. What do you know about Vivek Ramaswamy? Can you even spell his freaking name? He's running against Trump. He's not with him.
Where else are you going to go and have the owners sing for you? Come down to Uncle Eddie's, 4050 US 1, just north of Donald Ross Road. 561-508-7799. Hurry up in.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954.
He sounds genuine. Oh my gosh, he sounds genuine.
Thank you.
He's a self-promoting person, just trying to elevate himself to be a part of the dialogue.
The Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM. Harrison, Boca on 95.3 FM. Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. And anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I just was looking, oh man, Mike Lindell has his 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets on sale for 50% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at mypillow.com. I sleep on the MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. You know, Mike Lindell says after your first night sleeping with the Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, you will never sleep on any other sheets again, and that is so true. Giza Cotton is the finest cotton in the world, and you are the perfect temperature all year long, winter, summer, and fall, with the 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. I love them. My wife and I have, I can't remember if we have 6 or 8 sets. We've got, I think we have 4 regular and 2 flannel. They are 50% off. They come in many colors. They even have patterns. And not only are they the most comfortable temperature-regulated sheets you've ever had, the thing that is so amazing about them that I noticed the first time we made the bed with them is the bottom sheet fits perfectly on all 4 corners of the mattress. And if you don't know what I mean by that, when I explain, you will. With any other sheets, you put on the fitted sheet at the bottom. You know, that fitted sheet, you can get 1 corner on perfectly, 2nd corner on, 3rd corner on, maybe quarter of the way over the corner. The 4th corner, I'm using all of my strength just to get it enough over that corner so it doesn't come off. Always terrified my fingers are going to slip and I'll end up with my back up against the wall, the closet door, depends on what corner I'm at, or the knob on the dresser. But with the 100% Giza cotton dream sheets from MyPillow, the fitted sheet fits perfectly and you can put it on without efforts, even with the mattress topper. Just 2 fingers and a thumb, boom, 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 all 4 corners fit. So go to MyPillow.com, order your MyPillow 100% Giza cotton dream sheets, 50% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's go to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Not a Republican standing up for the constitutional rights of President Trump. It's disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. You know, if you're not standing up for Trump, you're on Jack Smith's team.
I'll say this: any Republican not standing up for Trump is a traitor. They're either compromised, on the take,
yep,
or something.
And I don't want to hear this crap about Vivek Ramaswamy, okay? If you're running against Trump, you're not with Trump.
I noticed on your thing that you said Obama met with Biden before the Trump indictment.
Yeah, it was Obama's idea.
I've always believed that Obama's behind the scene with his old administration pulling the strings.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And all over everything they've thrown at Trump has come to naught, and they just keep throwing stuff at him like this time we're going to get him. And I just don't believe it's ever going to happen. President Trump's probably been the squeakiest clean. He's not perfect. None of us are. But he's probably been the closest thing squeaky clean to ever run for president.
Yeah, and I got it. See, these Republicans think we're stupid. They actually think that if Trump's not on the ballot, we're going to vote for them. I'm done with the Republicans. Trump is showing up in D.C. to be arrested today, and the judge overseeing the case worked at the same law firm with Hunter Biden at the same time. And the Republicans, they have no excuse not to be there. They live there. It's in D.C. So let's see who's not there today supporting the president.
Kevin McCarthy has been a total flop. He's done nothing to help President Trump.
No, and I'll tell you, when we made that deal to make him speaker, they changed the rules so we could have a vote anytime to elect a new speaker. If he doesn't get out there and support Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz need to call a vote and dump that California fake Republican.
Exactly. And who would you like to see in there, Brian? I'm just curious.
I don't know. Marjorie Taylor Greene, how about that?
Yeah, someone that's going to be willing to fight.
Yeah, at least stand there with him. Come on. Maybe they should make Trump the speaker. You don't have to be in the House to be the speaker. Let's make Donald Trump the speaker of the House. How about that?
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. I'm so sick. Yesterday I was really ticked during the show. And today when I came in, I didn't feel so upset. Now that I'm talking, I'm getting ticked off the more I'm talking about it. And it's interesting. Here you got Biden has the same campaign strategy as DeSantis. Let's get Trump arrested. Keep him off the ballot. Jerks.
And that still won't stop us from writing him in. He'll get as many votes or many more if they tried to actually.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna write Trump in for every office. Dog catcher, I'm gonna write Trump in. I'm not kidding.
And I like that.
I'm serious. All right, Chip. I appreciate the call. Thank you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
Hi. When I was a young kid growing up in New York, we used to go down to 40. My parents used to go down to 42nd Street. You know what a soapbox is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I know. Okay.
Because you're young. They used to have communists with microphones standing up in the middle of the street preaching communism, but we let them speak.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. The freedom to speak.
Now the communists speak at the presidential podium. Started in 2008.
Yeah, here's the deal. You didn't want to talk about this indictment, but this is an attack on you. This is not just an attack on Trump. In other words, if the government says that they don't agree with what you're saying on the radio, they can just throw you in jail if it comes down. This is free speech. This indictment is free speech. Bottom line. And the other thing is, Obama and Biden he was the president and Obama was and Biden was vice president during all this corruption under the Obama administration. Biden was stealing all this money like that, and they knew that Trump was being railroaded. They knew it was a scam, that Russian collusion crap. Biden let it happen. So Biden is filthy.
You know, does anyone have a timeline? I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but was Obama's visit at the White House around the same time they found the cocaine there? When did they find the cocaine at the White House, I wonder?
It was close, but
yeah, it was.
Well, but the deal is this: Obama's administration with the Farrakhan and Frank Davis Jr. He's a communist. He filled the government full of commies. And I remember every time he got into a political problem, he would run to a college. And that's another thing. The free speech started in the colleges, where for conservative, if you went into a college to try to talk, they'd probably try to keep you out because they don't want free speech in colleges. Now
it's not about. I understand free speech is in danger, but that's not what this is about. This is about. It's in the story. Obama went to Biden. Trump can't be beaten, so let's arrest him. That's what they did.
That's it. What? No matter at all costs, we're going to put him in jail. That's not. And they didn't get him on. He's going to be able to run from inside jail if they do arrest. This is so crazy. I don't even know what planet we're on.
It's hard to believe that we're even having this discussion. It's hard to believe this stuff's real.
I mean, this is nuts. If you would have told me this is going to be the United States in 2020, I would say, are you out of your mind? I think you need medication.
Yep. All right. We got a break. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
No.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the Oldies forecast.
Oh, now listen, guys. If you'd like to support the program, remember, go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. You can take advantage of all the specials there at mypillow.com. It's a great way to support the show. And make sure that you subscribe and click the notification bell here on my channel if you're new, because I live stream 7 days a week. And that's right, including weekends. And we're going to be covering all of this nonsense that's going on. I'm just disgusted by everything that's happening here. Well, thank you, Beverly in Barbados. Awesome. Awesome, Storm Rider. That's great. Yeah, I just got the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for my daughter's sleeper sofa. I was going to go to California this weekend, but I can't take any time off. So I'm going to go at some point, but not this weekend. I was going to take a long weekend and go to California, but I got my daughter the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for her sleeper sofa so I could sleep comfortably, and got her the 2 MyPillow limited edition MyPillows. Oh, it's hard. I'm getting more upset the more I talk about this.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0.
It's amazing what's going on here. It really is so difficult to accept what's happening is happening, that they would go this far, right?
Yeah, I'm so glad.
It's insanity.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Phil Carlson, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis with his laser-away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of the callers who called me live on the radio.
Yep. It is like China. China, it's worse here because they know they don't have freedoms here. They give us the illusion that we're free in this country. This is like North Korea. Yeah, it's like North Korea. It's exactly what it's like. I'd say probably we're more like East Germany back in that day, which was, East Germany was a satellite state of Russia. We're a satellite state of China. They own our politicians. They own our farmlands. Did you guys see they found a biolab that the Chinese were running in this country where they were doing some type of weird experiments? Where's that in the news? It's hard to... It's insanity. By the way, those of you that are Patreon supporters, Patreon added a new way where I can add videos and behind-the-scene content, and I started doing that yesterday. So those of you that are Patreon supporters, go and check that out. And if you're not a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the video description. Become one. There's all kinds of benefits to that. Yeah, look at this asshole we got as our governor, DeSantis. He says he's willing to debate Newsom. With everything that's going on, DeSantis is talking about debating Newsom. Sorry to use the profanity, but what better descriptor is there of DeSantis? I'm in a rage. I'm like Bruce Banner right now. I'm controlling my rage. This is the most angry I've been in years. I rarely get angry at things that are in the news. But this one just...
With Brian Craig, celebrating 46.
All right. Yes. Callers on hold, stand by. There's only one opening on our very busy board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
Hey, I was listening to Bongino yesterday on his radio show, and he was really down about this whole thing. But he has been saying the last few weeks it's all about Obama. That's who they're trying to protect, because he knew about he appointed Biden to this Ukraine thing. He knew about that. Everybody knew about it. Jack Smith is somehow tied to the Obama administration.
Well, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with Bongino. It's not about protecting Obama. They're not worried about being protected. They're fearless. You know, listen, why do you think Joe Biden's not pardoning Hunter?
I don't know.
Because he knows he's going to get away with it. Okay, they're not. The only thing they're protecting is their power, and that would include Obama's power.
Well, and his legacy as well, because Bongino spells it out step by step. You know, he was in the Secret Service. I mean, he knows a lot of stuff. But,
yeah.
I mean, it was interesting. It was just so it's just disgusting. I mean, how can they have like this Jack Smith when a definite conflict of interest? Whoever had that before? I mean, it's just they don't care. If this gets, most people say that he's not gonna. They can't prove anything like this about this indictment today. But
listen, it is. Listen, it is. This judge worked at the same law firm as Hunter Biden at the same time. Okay, so this is an ex-coworker of Hunter Biden's. That's the judge in this case. Are you freaking kidding me? You know, it is very possible. It's 50-50 that she doesn't let Trump go today, that she holds him. It's possible.
Yeah.
Think about that. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, Joe. Well,
That day, I'm just disgusted.
I am.
Voting for these guys, you know.
I'm disgusted too. This is the most angry I have been about an issue that is in the news ever. Because usually things that are in the news, we're in a site. I may not like it, I may be upset, but I mean I'm in a rage. I mean I'm keeping my cool on the outside, but I am on fire inside.
I'm sure a lot of people are.
Mm-hmm.
They are. So.
All right, take care. You know, this is. You know what this is? What this is the day that democracy died. You know, there was. Ever see Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Ever see that movie, the third one with Sean Connery? I haven't seen this new wokester one with the female Indiana Jones. I'll see it when it's free on TV. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the blonde woman that's the female lead in the movie, she's working with the Nazis, but she's not really a Nazi. She's just using them to get, you know, anyway. There's a scene where she's in Berlin and she's watching the Nazis burn books at night and she's crying because she's seen what the Nazis are all about. That's how I feel today. When Jack Smith and his unkempt beard came out at that press conference, I felt like you would feel like when you see the Nazis, that guy crying in Paris when the Nazi army come down the street. Everybody's seen that video. That's how I feel. And there's good reason to feel that way. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
So this is Chris, Boca Raton.
Hey.
So, right, yesterday at Newsmax, they brought up Nate was there. One of the congressmen was there. They talked about giving President Trump immunity. They have something on the congressional records or orders, or whatever. They can bring him in and give him immunity.
Who can give him immunity?
Congress. Congress can call in President Trump.
You can't even get Kevin McCarthy to comment on what the hell's going on here. So when you're no, I don't know. Listen. Maybe it says that in the law, but these people are lawless. They don't care about the law. They make their own laws. So no, that's somebody that's a legal expert that's been on TV so many times they've run out of things to say.
I believe it's Matt Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz? I know I love Matt Gaetz, but that's insane. That's insane. Shut down the government, Matt Gaetz. No, I'm not going to look. If I looked into everything a caller called into, I mean, I'm not a researcher for our callers, but how about Matt Gaetz as opposed to some obscure thing that wouldn't work? How about shutting down the government? Shutting down the government. Just as a symbol of protest against the death of freedom. How about that? As opposed to some obscure law.
Absolutely, it won't hurt anybody.
Yeah, all right, take care. Thanks for the call. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry if I'm getting upset, guys, but, I mean, how could you not be? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
James from Boca.
Hey, James.
Well, now you're even getting madder because last night my sister-in-law was visiting at my house, and she was outside. A young Spanish boy pulled up asking if we have rooms for rent. I mean,
why would that upset me? Somebody came up to your house and asked if you have rooms to rent. Why would I be upset?
For 10 years, and I've never had anybody just walk up to my door and ask me if I have a room for rent.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's very weird. And then he doesn't even know any English, and he's trying to translate through his phone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's kind of upset, like you say, the freedom. America's about gone. You got 8-10 million people in this country, you know, like New York, the hotel, they got 1,000 people waiting out in front of it.
Oh, you mean he was like an illegal? Yeah. Well, what was it? What kind of neighborhood are you in where there's just random illegals running around looking for rooms?
I live in West Boca.
Wow.
I don't have an HOA or a gated community, but
that's insane. That's weird. That is weird. I must say that's weird.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you see them now. I see a lot more illegals begging or planted somewhere, you know, like under some trees. Just, you know, how do they live? You know, I couldn't go to a different country and live because they're not going to give me anything.
Well, they wouldn't let you. They wouldn't let you.
A property in Mexico, you can lease it, but anybody can come to America. Chinese, you know, buy our farmland.
Yeah, you know, I had a job offer once at a radio station in London, England, and I never took the job. It's not because I didn't want to, but they have very strict immigration laws in the UK. Yeah, and they would have to advertise the job for 2 years and not be able to find a qualified applicant before they could hire a foreigner, which would have been me. And you know, so I didn't get that job in London. I turned out okay. Maybe things turned out better for me. I don't know, but yeah, we're the only country that does not have those kind of things. Yeah, I just got Dr. Matez just texted me. He said the Matt Gaetz immunity stories and the Gateway Pundit. You know that I love Matt Gaetz, but come on, we don't want come on.
Shut down the border and the government.
Shut down. No, the government needs to be shut down indefinitely until this stuff stops. That's just what it's got to be. I'm sorry. You know, I don't like to say. Yeah.
Explain to me how an illegal that just came into this country, not a lick of English, just and he's driving a brand new car. How did he get a driver's license? How did he get a car? Who's paying for all this? It's money that they're shipping him back, you know, like when he gets here, and then they're going to provide him money so he can buy a house.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I thought Ron DeSantis cracked down on all that. I guess he's too busy in New Hampshire and Iowa.
Yeah, his book sale.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate the call. That's a very strange story. An illegal came to your house and asked if you got a room to rent. Never rent a room to anyone, people. I've known people over the years that have done that. They don't pay the rent. They don't leave. It's a disaster. It's a very bad idea to rent rooms to people.
I almost asked him how he's going to pay for it, just to see if he was going to hand me a government voucher.
Yeah.
I was so upset that I just told him to leave.
That's good. Did you tell him?
Pay for this.
Did you tell him? Did you tell him to leave in English or in Spanish?
I waved goodbye.
Yeah. Okay.
The language.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen. I appreciate the call.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. You know, when I was in ninth grade, when I was in high school, here at Stranahan High School in Fort Lauderdale, I failed Spanish my first year, and I just couldn't. You know, it was very hard because all the Cuban kids take Spanish and pretend not to speak it, right? Even though they all do fluently, they speak it better than the teacher. So the class was a little advanced, you know. And my teacher said, Brian, if you don't speak Spanish, by the year 2000, you're not going to be able to function or survive in South Florida. Can you imagine? By the year 2000, I better start studying, huh? All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered mornings 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Oh, during the breaks, I've got to try to calm down. You know, you don't want to. I'm just getting so enraged talking about this stuff. You don't want to. Be on the air talking and debating things when you're in a rage. You know, so during the breaks, I'm trying to cool down, and then as soon as I start talking after the breaks, I'm as red as my coffee cup. This show is getting a little too far. What does that mean, Bonnie? I have no idea what that means. This show is getting a little too far. What does that mean, Bonnie? We are live, Lynn Steele. We are live. Oh, my blood pressure's through the freaking roof. Yeah, my blood pressure's through the roof right now. I used to take my blood pressure like when I got off the air. Can't do that. That's the last commercial, then we'll be back. I'm just can't believe. I really almost don't want to watch Trump go to Washington today. You know, it's like heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I'll watch it, but I'm going to podcast after after Trump gets up there today. All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm not sure if Steve is going to be here today. You know, Steve was given an award last night at a special event, and it was a little upsetting to me because we didn't announce this in advance, by the way, guys. But Steve was given an award. I'm not going to get into the details of it just yet. I'll let Steve do all that. And I was on my way to the event yesterday. I even got all dressed up. In the afternoon, I took a shower. I put on nice, fancy clothes. And then it was very far where the venue was. So I'm heading there. And then I got a call about 15, 20 minutes before. They moved the location of this event where Steve was getting an award last night to another place. And so far away from where I was that by the time I got there, the event would have been over. So I missed the entire event of Steve getting this award. And I was going to get up and speak and everything. I had, you know, I don't write down anything, but I kind of knew what I was going to say. So I got on the phone with Steve's wife and told her what I was going to say so she could get up. So I missed the whole thing. I know, it's pretty bad, huh? I know. I felt awful. But anyway, let's go back to our phones. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is Barbara from Hawaii.
Oh, Barbara in Hawaii. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I probably have more questions than other things here. Can't Trump's attorneys reject the judge because of a conflict of interest?
Well, that would be up to the judge. They'd have to go to the judge and make a motion for the judge to recuse herself. The judge that worked with Hunter Biden at the same law firm together at the same time. I mean, this is upset. Here I am. Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, I am not.
Okay, I'm embarrassed. Here I am talking to someone who's not, I know, because your accent. I know, you've called before. You're from Germany. You live in Hawaii. I remember you. And here I am talking to a woman who's not an American, and I'm looking at what's happening to our great country, and it's embarrassing. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing. It's shameful that the beacon of freedom of the world's oldest democracy is now, we're East Germany in the 50s right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is. I mean, it's upsetting. Yeah. What other questions do you have about it? No, but they can make a motion for the judge to recuse herself, but she won't.
She won't. Yeah. Okay. Shut down the government. I think it's a good idea, but what if there is emergencies? Would there be somebody?
Okay. When the government shuts down, this happens sometimes when the Congress doesn't approve a budget. Only non-essential services are shut down. All essential services continue. The military, law enforcement, border patrol, Social Security checks, Medicaid, any essential, the post office, the only things that shut down are non-essential things, which is like 98% of the government.
In case of emergency, who would react? The president?
The same people. If the government being shut down, if there was an emergency, the same people would respond. That would respond if it wasn't shut down. The big secret is when most of the government's useless, and when the government shut down too long, the government gets nervous because if the government shut down for 6 months or a year, you wouldn't even notice. It wouldn't change your life at all. You would have no idea it was shut down. I'm serious. I
believe that. Absolutely.
Now, if you have some grant from the government to run your climate change study at the University of Liberal Indoctrination, you might not get the money, but for most Americans like you and me, we would not even notice it. That's why they get panicked when the government shut down. If it gets shut down and people say, hey, I don't even notice it, the people will realize the government's too big.
It's just, I'm just discussing with the Republicans, if you look at the Democrats, they're all sticking together. And the Republicans, they are, I don't know, it's just so unreal.
Well, yeah, it is. Well, hey, listen, at least you're in Hawaii and you can, I'm in Florida. You and I are in the most paradise-like places of America. You're in Hawaii, I'm in Florida. So at least we can go to the beach and forget about our troubles for a while.
And I'm sending you some aloha, yeah?
Yes, aloha to you.
Yes, you're being upset.
All right, take care. Oh, man. Let's see here. Where are we? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Gina.
Hey, Gina.
You know what makes me laugh? It's not a laughing matter. All these politicians and presidents and what have you, they fail to realize that we put them in office and they're supposed to work for the people. Who the heck are they to change the rules and up and do whatever they feel like doing and get a...
See, this is what the reality is, okay? That's an illusion. American freedom is an illusion. We are not a free country. It's an illusion. We are in the matrix. If you think you're in a free country, you're in the matrix, not the real world.
Well, then I say all Americans and patriots unite together.
No. Not going to do any of that stuff. But go to Hawaii and go to the beach. That's what you can do. If you're on hold, stand by. You know, it is hurricane season. Oh, man, is it hurricane season and rainy season. And you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting if you've got a wet spot on your ceiling. If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leak in your roof. And I was telling you guys yesterday with Steve that Steve had a wet spot on his ceiling. This is how we found Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. He did nothing about it. We used to joke around about it because he's piped in and it would drip down. It was dripping down on his desk right next to the radio equipment. Can you believe it? He would have a bucket there, and he ignored it. And then he got another wet spot, and it was a mess. And by the time he called Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting, Tom Laporta will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you just need a repair, he'll do it. But it was too late for Steve because he ignored the problem. Now, his house looks great. He's got a beautiful new roof that Tom Laporta put on the house. But if he would have called Tom Laporta when he saw that first wet spot, he would not have needed a new roof. In fact, Steve waited so long that wetness soaked down into his drywall. 40% of his house was infected with deadly black mold. In fact, I smelled it when I went to Steve's house, and I didn't know it was deadly black mold, but I could smell that mold, mildewy smell when I went to the house. And Steve and his family had no idea because they were used to the smell. I didn't say anything because I thought it was rude. And Tom went over there and smelled it immediately, did the test. So Steve had to get a new roof, had to have 40% of his drywall replaced, and a bunch more, too, because he didn't call Tom Laporta when he saw that first wet spot on his ceiling. Tom Laporta covers the entire east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. I'm going to give you his number. It rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford.
Hey, Bill.
I'm the one that said BS, and I'll tell you why. There's two things. Number one, I think Trump's going to get maybe 2 cabinet members out of that, maybe more. And the other thing is, I don't like to see you that way. You're completely different when you really get mad, and I don't think anybody loves Trump more than you other than their family. And not everybody's going to think the same way as you. You've got to give them sometimes a little slack, I think.
Well, I understand. I have been short with people since yesterday. I mean, I'm fuming. I'm in a rage over they're arresting Donald Trump again. How can you not be upset? And when someone calls me, for example, Joe Ellen's very nice caller, and Bongino says, I don't give a flying fig what Bongino says. First off, he's wrong about it. It's not about protecting Obama. I'm sorry. I'm in a rage. This is about America freedom. Donald Trump is so far ahead in the polls. I was telling Steve yesterday, and this is not sarcasm, I don't know if it's possible to go higher. He's so high in the polls. And that's why they're doing this, because the American people disagree with the establishment. And Kevin McCarthy should be removed as Speaker immediately. They need to have a vote and pick a new Speaker. This is outrageous. I'd rather have George Santos as Speaker than Kevin McCarthy.
Well, you're absolutely right, and I watch you 90% of the time for 3 hours. I mean, there's no better program I like other than yours, and but my opinion is I like to see you when you're calm.
Well, how can you be? Listen, how can you be calm when we got a pre-coup going on here? I mean, how can you be calm and be without emotion with something like this going on?
Yeah, I mean, you need to put your head out the window like a network. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore.
I mean, this isn't, a lot. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. A lot of people that do radio shows that are online and things like this are always pretending to be pissed off all the time. I don't do that. Okay? I'm in a rage, and I am keeping my cool the best I can. And I was talking about this during one of the breaks to the chat room. I'm kind of like Bruce Banner, who's trying not to turn into the Hulk. I am that angry, and some of the things that some of the callers are saying, even though they're people I like and in some instances friends with, oh, it's about free speech. Oh, Bongino says it's about protecting Obama. No, it's not. It's about these tyrants in Washington, in the Beltway, controlling our lives. They don't want this. Our freedom is an illusion, and they don't care that we know it's an illusion, and they're battering us. But hey, listen, thank you for the call. If I got to run for our break at the top. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. Flo Rida's longest running radio show. We'll be back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rogue Studio. Injured recently? Call the Rogues Law Group, where winning is a habit.
Be right back, guys.
570-5700. 561-570-5700. Rogues, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. We're going to see a high today of about 91 degrees, which is really close to average for this time of the year. We'll see a slight chance of some showers and storms, but overall, not too bad. Pretty typical August fare. I'm WPBF 25 First Morning Meteorologist Sanford.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Right now on the Palm Beaches, the major expressways are crash-free, moving at the full speed between Boca Raton and Jupiter. You can see the vehicle blocking the right shoulder on the I-95 northbound from Spanish River Boulevard. Also, right shoulder block on I-95 northbound just after Northwest Boulevard.
Oh, man. I mean, what am I supposed to be calm during all this? How can you not be emotional over what they're doing? Right? How? How is that possible?
Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply. That's drop numbers.
Right? I mean,
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room with PBKC, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 3rd through the 6th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with your favorites, Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum. Your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com. Here's your true oldies ABC News Update. ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers.
McCarthy's not a chicken. He's just on their side. Right?
In connection with the charges made in Tuesday's indictment by special counsel Jack Smith's grand jury.
Overnight, police officers putting up metal barriers around the federal courthouse in Washington, hours ahead of former President Trump's arraignment, where Trump will face charges in connection with his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results.
ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. Daniel Donnelly Jr. busted in St. Louis on charges of taking part in the insurrection of 2021, using the stolen shield to attack police. He's known for parading around St. Louis Cardinals games in all red clothes.
I saw, well, we'll talk about that later.
Convicted anti-Semite Robert Bowers in the synagogue massacre in 2018 on Wednesday recommended he be put to death for murdering 11 worshipers and wounding 7 other people. This is ABC News.
You can host the best backyard barbecue. Find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside.
General Zod.
The outdoors and the open road. Don't miss RV Hour. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Hosted by Giant Recreation World Secretary
Terrence Stamp.
and CEO Larry McNamara.
The original General Zod, not the new one, right?
Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. right here on the True Oldies Channel. On the air since 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. My name is Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Of course, we're talking about this injustice going on. I was shocked this morning. I always look in the mornings to see what's trending on the Twitter. And Rush Limbaugh is trending on Twitter today. Did you guys see this? Yeah, and I'm thinking, what could be going on that Rush Limbaugh is trending on Twitter? I know it's called X now, but you'll always be Twitter to me. I mean, what could it be? I mean, certainly he has not come back from the dead. That would be great news. But the late great Rush Limbaugh, on one of his last broadcasts before he passed away, predicted that they were going to arrest Donald Trump, and that the clip of Rush Limbaugh saying that is trending on Twitter. Let me play it for you. This is the late, great Rush Limbaugh.
I know they desperately want Trump gone, and I know that they desperately want it codified that Trump cannot run again, because make no mistake, they remain scared to death of you, and they remain scared to death of Trump. Trump 75 million, 80 million votes, and I'm going to tell you, you're not going anywhere. Even if Trump does, you're not. They can't separate you from Trump. And more importantly, they can't separate you from the ideas. They can't separate you from MAGA. They can't separate you from Make America Great Again, which I think remains one of our big campaign strengths going forward. They believe that they can destroy this bond that exists between you and Trump if they somehow make Trump look bad, make Trump look like a reprobate, embarrass you about Trump. They can't do it because you came before Trump.
Yes, yeah. And that's trending on Twitter today, the late, great Rush Limbaugh. Oh, man, don't you guys miss Rush? These are the days we need Rush. I'd love to hear Rush's take on this Benedict Arnold DeSantis. Have any of you guys seen the YouTube video when I went to Rush's house right after he died? Oh, it'll bring tears to your eyes. The memorial at the front gate that people left at Rush's house. Well, mansion. Calling that a house is a disservice. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Senator Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Rudy is part of this fiasco going on in Washington. You know, as I told you, I was on the campaign to elect Rudy. I know Rudy personally. I can tell you, if Rudy says something, he's always been super careful of everything that comes out of his mouth. If he said something, it's absolutely true, and these people don't care if it's true or not. They just want to destroy anybody who's against them, and this is really sick.
Well, you know what Rush used to talk about all the time, that all the Democrats care about is power, and that's what this is about. It's about power. And then the government that's owned by China, the military-industrial complex, and the donor class don't want us to have a voice in our government. That's it. That's what's going on here.
That's for sure, man. You know, and I wouldn't discount this thing that one of the callers said that been talking about a lot about his immunity. You know, just like Congress has immunity to say anything they want and get away with it, so does the president. Now, I think that's a major factor legal-wise.
Really? So there's if Congress were to give him immunity, you think Jack Smith and Garland would say, oh well,
he has immunity. It doesn't have to give it to him. He has it already, just like Congress has it. He can say anything he wants.
No, Congress. No. Congress has immunity against like slander while they're on the floor of Congress. It's not outside. Only when they're on the floor.
And supposedly what I heard last night by Trump's attorneys is that he has immunity no matter what he says. So the president always seems to have a little bit more than Congress. So if this is the case, then they have no case because they can say what
they have no case. Doug, I want you to think about this. It doesn't matter that they don't have a case, okay? Listen, so let me just recap, okay? I started the show today, a little over an hour ago. It has come out through the Washington Post and also the Gateway Pundit that this whole thing about arresting Trump in D.C. was Obama's idea. He had a private meeting at the residence with Biden, and Obama came up with this idea. So so you think it's just a coincidence that Trump is going in front of a judge that was appointed by Barack Obama today, who worked with Hunter Biden at the same law firm at the same time? You think that's You think that's a coincidence?
Oh,
No!
I could do that. It's terrible. Unbelievable.
Because they screwed up in Miami. See, in the Miami indictment, they didn't think things ahead. They did the rotation, and they got a Trump-appointed judge over the case, whose courtroom is in the most MAGA district in the country in Fort Pierce, right? So they made sure that didn't happen this time. It is not an accident. It doesn't matter what the law is. They're making their own laws.
I'm just wondering if there's anybody in Washington that the judge does not is bad or worse. So I think it's just the environment. Because Washington is so partisan that's what we have. I'm hoping that there's somebody.
I mean, who's the jury pool there, right? The bureaucracy, the liberals that work in the government.
But then the law is the law, and eventually this will be thrown out.
Really?
I think.
Who's going to throw it out? Who's going to throw it out?
Oh, they'll have to go to the next highest court, and then wherever they have to go to the Supreme Court, maybe.
And when is that going to be?
Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. Hopefully they decided that we can't have this just because it's a presidential election, but we'll soon see. And with Kevin McCarthy, man, you can't change the elected spots. I knew that guy was a waste. He likes to talk a lot, but never does anything. Oh, man, it's sick.
It is sick.
I'm as amazed as you inside, and this is really, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm hoping that if they...
Okay, it's very important to be cool, be calm, and keep your cool, all right? I'm way over caffeinated too this morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You're right about it. These people should be at that court. The government should be shut down, and McCarthy and the House should be at the courthouse, and the people in the Senate, minus of course, the vegetable that is McConnell. But think about this. When he went to South Carolina and he did his thing, as Trump did his thing in South Carolina, who was hanging around him like he was all for Trump? Lindsey Graham, right?
Yeah, where's Lindsey?
Yeah, where's Lindsey Graham at? We know Lindsey Graham is one of these guys that sticks his finger in the wind and licks it, right?
Yeah.
That's how he runs his office. That's how he runs the things. So if he deems that he needs to be with Trump, he's going to be with Trump. But you can't really trust that because it's Lindsey Graham, right? So that's the deal. These people need to be there, and you're right. They made a mistake with this judge in Florida. This courtroom in Florida. They made that mistake. They weren't going to make They wanted a rigged court. They didn't get it in Florida, so they're going.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Mike, appreciate the call. And by the way, there was last week, Mark Levin was going off on the Florida judge about setting the court date. Now I think I know why she did it. Her case is going to take precedence over this one. They can't have him in all these courtrooms at the same time. So the Florida judge is dragging this out. She said a trial, all this stuff. So she got the case first. Her court takes precedence. So the Florida judge is buying time for Trump. I think that's a quite big possibility here. What do you guys think about that? Does that make sense? All right, we're going to take our first break of this hour. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call, 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig, back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show.
We're a republic and a representative democracy. There's different types of democracies. There's direct democracy. That's where everybody votes on everything. There's a representative democracy, which is you elect, so we are a republic and a representative democracy. We're both.
Will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 True Oldies channel listeners,
The Congress, yeah, right.
333-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
They're always on vacation. Their life's a vacation. Unless they're passing Ukraine funding so they can steal money for themselves and their donors. Right?
Love great food and live music? Double Roads in Jupiter is the place to be. Wednesday, come listen to some catchy blues by the Kevin McLaughlin Band. Thursday is reserved for Pam and Dave singing sweet ballads in Motown. And then Blues Crusaders take the stage. Start your weekend on Friday with the local duo, Even Pomeroy, followed by Florida's funky party band, The Crew. Swing into Saturday with the acoustics of That Man and Robin, followed by the high-energy Samantha Russell Band, who will close out the weekend. Double Roads is the hot spot in town for delicious food, dancing, and live entertainment. See you soon at Double Roads.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office of one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere.
Oh, man.
No doctor's order or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we are back 18 minutes after the hour. It is Thursday. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Our 5th annual MAGA cruise is coming up. We leave April 27th on the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of Celebrity Cruise Lines, their newest and greatest ship. I have toured this vessel. You will love it. And I'm looking forward to it. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. Very much looking forward to this. We have shore excursions at each of our ports. In fact, at one stop, we have 2. shore excursions, and I will be on all of the shore excursions with you. And, of course, we have dinner together every night. We hang out all day, all night, party until the bars and clubs close, and we just have a great time. You're all invited. There's some huge specials going on right now in the month of August. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot, and he will explain them to you, and including giving you all the pricing information. But there's some really incredible deals going on right now. But I must caution you, the ship is filling up, okay? I called to make some cabin adjustments for myself, for my own personal little party. My daughter and myself, you know, I have 2 cabins, and the ship, the cabins are starting to fill up. So you want to call and make your reservation, all right? Make a deposit, make your reservation. You're locked in at the price, and also have your cabin locked in. I'm going to give you Ian's number. It's 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779, and join us, and we'll have a great time. I told you guys a couple weeks back, 2 of our cruisers, listeners to this program, met on the ship. They were both in our group, both in our MAGA group, but they didn't know each other. They met on the ship, and now they're engaged to be married. So if you're looking for love, we've turned into the love boat as well. All right, callers on hold, stand by. Ron DeSantis accepts Gavin Newsom's challenge to a TV debate. Let me tell you, Ron DeSantis is so lucky that Florida does not have a recall process like they have in California and other states. If there was a recall process for governor in Florida, he'd be out. He would be out, and I'd be leading the effort to recall Ron DeSantis. This is insane. How does he have time to sit around and have a debate with Gavin Newsom on television, which I'd like people to see that so they can see how short he is, even in his heels, when he's up against Gavin Newsom. They are arresting President Trump today, and he's playing run for president cosplay. So disappointed in Ron DeSantis. I really am. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Craig. All right, one more time. Because I have donated before to Trump's campaign, I get emails every day asking for more money. Last one, that the 70+ million people that voted for him, if they each donate $1, well, Rush said 80 million people, by $1 every month, $1, he will have at least $70 million
yes.
on his campaign. So I think that's very important that we all donate.
Mm-hmm. All right, donate to Trump, yeah. I can't agree with that. Oh, Bill Barr. Now listen to this. All these Bill Barr says the First Amendment will not protect Trump. Can't say things that we don't like. Okay. They like Bill Barr because he was Attorney General and for Trump, and they try to pass off this BS that Bill Barr is like he was Trump's Attorney General. He's part of the cabinet, and even he said Bill Barr was never with Trump. All right, he was Attorney General before with H.W. Bush. A lot of people don't know that because he was so much thinner then. Now he looks like Chris Christie, but back then he was a lot thinner and looked a lot different. Bill Barr was never with Trump. He was always against him. This is what happened. Robert Mueller, who's part of the deep state, had spent how many millions on that investment? Had got nothing. And they were trying to save Robert Mueller's reputation. Now you got to remember, Robert Mueller went to high school, a prep school with John Kerry. John Kerry and Robert Mueller went to high school together. Now it wasn't a regular high school like I went to, or you probably went to. It was an elite prep school where they were on the same lacrosse team together, and with a guy who went on to become the director of the CIA. So that kind of tells you. So Robert Mueller was in a big, embarrassing position. He had spent about $30 million or so investigating Trump. He got nothing. And he couldn't get out of it. He was in a trap. So they got Trump to bring in Barr for one reason and one reason only. Barr was very good friends with Robert Mueller. In fact, Not only are they close personal friends, they've been to each other's kids' weddings. They've guested in each other's kids' weddings, so pretty close. So Barr was brought in only to save Mueller, so that Mueller could end his investigation and still have some sense of self-worth after and not be as humiliated. Okay? That's why Barr was brought in. Barr was never on Trump's team. So when they present him as a Trump cabinet member, and even he says he never was really in the cabinet. Obviously he was, but you understand what I mean? And all this talk about the First Amendment. Supreme Court Justice Scalia, he very famous quote of his, he said, and I've heard others say this, but Scalia said this most famously, he says, you don't need the First Amendment to protect popular speech. You need the First Amendment to protect unpopular speech. And what the left have been doing over the years is, making moves to do just that. Outlaw speech that they disagree with. Like right now, Bernie Sanders, who has 5 homes, including a summer camp. What kind of creep has a summer camp? That's a weird thing, isn't it? He wants to punish people who deny global warming. This is America. Everybody has a right to an opinion. Opinions are not hurtful. Thoughts do not hurt people. It is okay to even be a conspiracy nut. Look at all this UFO stuff that's going on. Aliens are not visiting the earth. This is nonsense. Should we outlaw that type of thinking? You may say it's not dangerous to say that. Well, it's not dangerous to say the things Trump said either. Okay? There have always been lunatic people that have weird conspiracy theories. Look at all the conspiracy theories about Kennedy. Right? And remember Art Bell, the late Art Bell? He had an entire radio show about every conspiracy theory you could imagine. From aliens visiting the earth to Bigfoot and everything in between. Remember that? Yeah. So, conspiracy theorist, that's okay. It's okay. And if what Trump did in 2020 is a crime, why is Al Gore not being charged for what he did in 2000? I haven't even heard anybody mention Al Gore's name or the Florida recount or any of that. Have you? That's why I said yesterday, I'm not going to talk about the indictments or the different charges from the indictments. The news do that because they like to bring on legal experts and just yakety yak, yak, yak. Okay? And they got nothing to say. This is not about the charges in the indictment. Even Jack Smith agrees. That's why, even though the indictment isn't about January 6th, that's all he talked about in his little announcement the other day. It's not about that. And when you're talking about the indictment and the charges, you're giving legitimacy to what they're doing. This is about a guy who's the most popular president we've ever had, the most popular presidential candidate ever right now in the history of this country, and they can't handle it. We'll be right back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Okay.
Slight chance of some showers and storms, but overall, not too bad. Pretty typical August fare. I'm WPVF 25 First Morning meteorologist Sanford.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Major Expressway still in great shape this morning. I-95 on the Turnpike still crashed. We are seeing delays start to form now on I-95 northbound from Deerfield Beach into Boca. We also have a multi-vehicle crash in downtown West Palm, Quadra Boulevard, Ventura Street. Mattis Street is still close from Dixie Highway and Olive Avenue. Take Banyan Boulevard instead. This report is sponsored by Macy's. Macy's one-day sale starts tomorrow with deals of the day on back-to-school essentials they need now. Find big savings on first-day outfits, backpacks, Plus, download the app for even more great deals at Macy's. That's Traffic News Bar.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 3rd through the 6th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with your favorites, Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum. Your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
It's time for a deal. Half price entrees? Yep, you heard me right. 50% off all dinners from 4 to 6 Wednesday through Sunday. And 20% off the whole entire menu to go, including the best thin crust pizza in town. Forget about it. Where else are you going to get delicious beef braciole, linguine clam sauce, lasagna, pork chops? Nowhere. My prices are insane. Stop going to those fugazi joints. You're not going to find great food and entertainment like at Uncle Eddie's. Where else are you going to go and have the owner sing for you? Come down to Uncle Eddie's, 4050 US 1, just north of Donald Ross Road. 561-508-7799. Hurry up in.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio. Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
By treating your knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and no side effect. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do. Shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
I'm going to read Cat Turd's, one of Cat Turd's tweets from yesterday. That is such a great statement. You got everybody know Cat Turd? I can't say the name on the radio. I don't think I can say turd on the radio. I'm not sure. So I'm going to err on the side of caution.
Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. celebrating 46 years on the air.
Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm going to read a tweet from probably the best conservative commentator on Twitter. They're just on Twitter. I cannot say their full name on the radio, but it's Cat and then a word that starts with T as their name. I did retweet this, and they're a Florida-based Republican. If you're on Twitter and a conservative, you know who they are. But they made a statement yesterday to the Republican Party that is so spot on. Listen to this. And you guys know who Cat T is. I can't say the name on the radio. Can't say the name. I'm not sure I can say the name. I mean, I can say it, but then who knows? So I'm not going to say the name. But again, as I said, I did retweet this so you can check it out. This is what they said. Dear loser Republican Party, you have officially pushed us too far with your weakness. I, along with millions of others, will never vote for your party again, except on a very rare occasion. You are spineless, worthless, neocon, do-nothing cowards. You give zero value to your base. Stop sending me requests to give you money. You'll never get a dime from me. After 40 years, I'll be registering as an independent this week. Good luck winning in the future without the America First MAGA vote. I'll vote for Trump, but never any one of you useless cowards again. And save your breath telling me this will be a vote for Democrats. What difference does it make? They're actually arresting their political opponents, and you won't even give Adam Schiff a $5 fine or impeach anyone for anything. You're utterly useless. Spot on, except for the part of registering independent. This particular person is in Florida. You don't want to register as an independent. Stay Republican so you can vote for President Trump in the primary. Okay? Stay registered Republican so you can vote for President Trump in the primary against Ron DeSanctimonious. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. But you know what? They don't believe us. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Marco again, calling back to you. Said I wasn't a great caller, and I'm going to show you I am. How many Antifa and BLMs were at the January 6th? How many were actually there, roughly?
I don't know. I know that the man who took the video of Ashley Babbitt being murdered was Antifa in MAGA gear. I know that.
MAGA people would not, most of them would never climb the walls and do what they were doing.
That's not what I said. I said the other day, self-respecting MAGA people would not leave while President Trump was speaking to go anywhere.
I'm talking about many months ago when it happened, the days after it happened. I'm talking about that. I remember you saying that.
What I have said in the past, I don't remember, but what I say a lot of things. I talk a lot. But what I have said was this, that Antifa broke the doors down and broke the windows open, and some MAGA people followed them in. Sure, they walked between the velvet ropes and everything else. I saw it. So what's your point?
The point is Trump's lawyers that are going to be there today, they should bring up a big thing that we're going to assume many BLMs and Antifas were there.
Okay, now I want to get, now you began by saying you were going to show me in this audience that you're a great caller. Can you get to that part now? I'm waiting for that part.
Yeah, that's part of the other part is we're going to see why you're a great talk show host. You let me just loser callers come in, they agree with you. That's the only reason you let your best callers agree with you, except for Richie and Andrea, and probably Andrea. It's very nice.
Are you calling callers to this program? Who's a loser? You're calling some of our callers losers?
I guess you could be a loser. You've never had Trump on. How come Trump has never been on your show? Trump has never been interviewed on your show. You're a great talk show. Why doesn't Trump call in?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just such a great talk show.
Well, you said. Well, first off, I have already proven to you that I am great at what I do. Excuse me. That is true. I have proven that you believe I'm great because you not only listen and call, but you're desperate for my approval of you, which you'll never get at this rate. But just because we haven't had Trump on doesn't mean he doesn't listen. Doesn't mean he doesn't listen.
I agree with a lot of stuff,
Excuse me. We have not had Trump on as a guest, but he does listen to this program. And I'm very grateful that you called today. You know why? Why do you think I'm grateful that you called today?
To prove that I am a great caller.
No. I am very glad that you called today because President Trump is in New Jersey and not at Mar-a-Lago, and maybe he's not listening this morning because I wouldn't want him to think that you were a reflection of the quality of this program. I'd be embarrassed for President Trump to hear this program while you were on the phone. He hung up. I did not hang up on him. And that's not a joke. I'm serious about that. I'd be embarrassed. But I do want to get back into this, okay? There's a lot of people talking about what this person said about registering as an independent. That's a bad idea. If you are a registered independent in most states, including Florida, you will not be able to vote for President Trump in the primary. So please do not do that, people. Stay a Republican. Some states have crossover primaries. Florida is not one of them. I don't know which states are and which states are not, okay? But stay as a Republican, all right? President Trump's a Republican, so stay as a Republican. Don't leave just yet. That doesn't mean you have to vote for these jerks. And today, this is going to be a difficult day for me. You know, watching President Trump yet again have to go and show up to be arraigned. It's the third time, and they tell us it's going to happen a fourth time in Georgia. Okay? And it's going to be very difficult to watch. And I pray today that they let him leave. They may not. I'm also, I know a lot of people say the mugshot, that's a good thing. I don't think a mugshot of President Trump is a good thing. It'll be the most circulated, famous picture probably in the history of humanity by the time it's over if they get a mugshot today. But they very well could get a mugshot today. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. This president's not a criminal. And if they get that mugshot, a real mugshot, you got to understand, the history books are written by liberals. All the history books in school, in bookstores, if you can find them, on Amazon, all the history books are written by liberals. I don't want a mugshot of the president because that's how the liberal historians will portray him in all their history books with that mugshot. I'm sorry. That's not a good thing. It's not cool. It's not funny. It's not, and I know President Trump could use a mugshot and raise $100 million off of it. He could raise $100 million without the mugshot. Okay, so I just don't think that's a good idea. I don't want the mugshot, but it could happen today. Could happen. That's not a good thing. And, you know, I know there are a lot of, it's hard for me to understand this, but there are a lot of Republicans that don't like Trump. Most of them are like DeSantis in government and all that stuff. Come on, look at what's going on here. Look at what's going on here. Let me play Mike Pence. I hate playing Mike Pence. What a snake. Let me play this. This is Pence yesterday. Oh my goodness. Anytime someone from the government is talking about the Constitution and the importance of it, they're walking on it. Anytime you hear an establishment politician talk about liberty, they're doing just the opposite. Anytime these establishment politicians talk about liberty, freedom, or the Constitution, they're doing the exact opposite of what they're saying. Okay? All right. We're going to take our last break of this hour. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Good morning, Barry Siegel.
You too, Brian.
Doing well. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, one of the things that's, we have a lot of exciting things going on at the Siegel Law Group. One of them is a launch of a new book that just came out, written by me, called Caught in the Middle, Juggling Your Elderly Parents' Affairs While Raising Your Own Family. And it's now out, it's now available. They're calling our office, there's some social media coming out on that, and also it's available on Amazon. And really, it's exactly what the title says. It's really a guidebook for people who are caught in the middle, people who have elderly parents, maybe raising their own families, and it kind of gives them the guidance that they need about dealing with any issues that their parents are dealing with, juggling those issues, dealing with raising their own family, and gives them resources, ideas, guidance, and it's something that, of course, it's going to cover many legal issues about leaving a legacy, resources, and ideas on how to protect the assets, things that we do, of course, at the Siegel Law Group, but many other things that and answers many questions that people have when they're dealing with elderly parents at the same time while raising their own family.
Yeah, and a lot of times a role reversal comes in, and it's a mess when things are not planned properly. Also, if you already have a trust and it has not been reviewed in the last 3 years, give the Siegel Law Group a call and have it reviewed, because things change big time. This is how we met Attorney Barry Siegel. Steve had his trust reviewed, and there were all kinds of problems. The biggest one was the executor of his trust was dead, but there were grandkids that were born after the trust, so they would have been cut out. There were divorces, so there were relatives that were no longer, all kinds of problems. So give the Siegel Law Group a call. Of course, the Siegel Law Group main office is in Boca Raton, but have offices throughout Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County, with the main office in Boca. But no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help you. Give them a call. The number toll-free for all of you is 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Brian. Have a great day.
All right, we'll be right back.
The social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back, one and all. Do you or someone you know or love suffer with neuropathy? It is awful. If you know anyone that has neuropathy, you know what I'm talking about. And if you have it, I've got some relief for you, got some help. And, it's at Lighthouse Medical Center. We found Lighthouse Medical Center out of necessity. Steve got the neuropathy. He had every symptom there is in the medical books. I mean, he had them all. Had all of them. The numbness, the pain, the burning and tingling in the hands and feet, dizziness, muscle weakness, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet, sometimes no feeling at all. Steve had all those symptoms and more. And it was a big problem. We had two things coming up. One, we had an appearance we were doing. The one where they called the cops on us and had guys with guns run us off. Remember that one? But that was coming up. And Steve's like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I've got, I'm dizzy. I've got all these neuropathy symptoms. And we had the cruise coming up. He's like, you're going to get me, how am I going to get on the ship, with all these neuropathy symptoms? So we went on a search. First thing Steve did was go to his primary care physician. Said, you got to send me to a doctor to help me with my neuropathy. His primary care physician said, there's no treatment for neuropathy. So Steve begged and pleaded and he sent him to a neurologist who's a specialist. Neurologist said, there's nothing you can do. Go home, get used to it. That's your life now. Isn't that something? So Steve and I sought out help, and we found Lighthouse Medical Center. Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano not only has a treatment for neuropathy, it's a treatment that works. I've seen it rid Steve of his neuropathy symptoms, and it's done the same for many in this listening audience. Lighthouse Medical Center has been in business for 71 years with the same family of physicians. It's not a medical practice that's been bought and sold a dozen or more times, and they've kept the name, with the same family of physicians for 71 years. I'm going to give you the number in a moment. When you call, make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. Also, if you can't make it in person, they can still help you because they understand that if you have neuropathy, you may not be able to drive. It may be difficult for you to get somewhere. They can still help you, no matter where you're located. Okay, here's the number, 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, I did a poll on my YouTube channel, and I want to share this to you. It's still ongoing. Fox News is reporting, this is the poll. Fox News is reporting that 50% of GOP voters will vote for someone other than Trump. If he is not on the ballot, will you vote for someone other than Donald Trump? That's my poll. Now, so far, I've had 2,100 votes. And the poll's still ongoing. And by the way, 2,100 are more people than are polled in most of the polls you see on television news. 14% say, no way, Jose. 10% said they'll probably vote for someone else other than Trump if he's not on the ballot. I don't know who those 10% are. And the third choice was writing in Trump. 76% said they'll write in Trump. So that's great. But at 90% total, if you put in those two, will not vote for anyone but Trump. So that's a good thing. Fox News reporting that half of GOP voters will vote for someone other than Trump. They probably did a poll among their viewers and their very small audience since they fired Tucker, and there's been an exodus. Most of the people they have watching on Fox are the never Trumper Republicans, so they got a very biased sample there. But see, that's what the establishment is counting on. They think we're stupid. They think we're married to our cousins, okay? They think you went to prom with your sister. You didn't go to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, London School of Economics, or any Columbia School of Journalism, or any other CIA recruitment centers that they have. And they actually believe, the establishment Republicans believe, that we'll vote Republican even if Trump is not on the ballot. It's not going to happen. The Republican Party will cease to exist as a viable party if they don't have Trump on the ballot. And if they don't start standing up for him. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, good morning, Brian.
Yep, what's your name?
This is Terry from Florida.
Hey.
How many people do you know went to prison behind storming the Capitol?
None.
None of them went to prison.
I don't know anybody. No, I don't know anyone. Personally, no.
I'm not saying... What I'm saying is a lot of these people probably like...
Excuse me. You said how many people do I personally know that went to prison for storming the Capitol? I said none. I know none. None.
If not more.
I don't know any of them.
I'm not doing no prison. But my point is...
Now, let me ask you this. How many black men are in prison for murder right now? Excuse me. Excuse me. How many black men are in prison? How many black men are in prison for murder in this country today? Thousands, right?
Yeah, thousands.
Okay, well, you're black. Oh, excuse me. I don't care what your point is. I'm making my point. As a black man, are you responsible for the black men in prison for murder?
No, I'm not responsible.
Well, then why would Trump be responsible for MAGA people that commit crimes? Excuse me. If you're not responsible for black men in prison for murder, why is Trump responsible for people that he has something in common with.
Told them to stop Biden from becoming president.
No, he said peacefully. If Trump is responsible for those people that he did not tell to do something, then why are you not responsible for black men in prison? I got another one. A Bernie Sanders campaign worker shot Steve Scalise. Is Bernie Sanders responsible for that?
He wasn't killed Spence.
Excuse me, a Bernie Sanders campaign worker, shot Steve Scalise, a sitting member of the United States House of Representatives. Is Bernie responsible for what one of his campaign workers did?
Told them to do it.
Well, he didn't, and either did Trump.
Those people wouldn't have did none of that if it wasn't for Trump. If Trump had not told...
Well, you know what? Maybe a lot of African Americans wouldn't commit crimes if they weren't told by Democrats that they were brought here as slaves against their will and that the entire government is against them with systemic racism.
People commit crimes, black people commit crimes, all of them. You got good and bad in every race.
Listen. People commit crimes all the time that we might have something in common with. Okay? It doesn't mean you're responsible for them. Just because someone commits a... Okay. Do you know who... Excuse me. Do you know who John Hinckley... Excuse me. Do you know who John... Excuse me. Do you know who John Hinckley is?
Okay, John Hinckley.
He's the guy that shot... John Hinckley shot President Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? You know who I'm talking about? Oh, don't worry. The point's coming. Do you remember that? You know who that is now? John Hinckley. So you know who he is. Okay. He gave a reason for shooting President Reagan. Do you know what his reason was?
A reason.
Do you remember?
No.
He said he did it for Jodie Foster, the actress. He was in love with Jodie Foster. And he did it. He said, I did this for Jodie Foster. In fact, he wrote her a letter telling her he was going to do it. So should Jodie Foster have been arrested, charged, and imprisoned for shooting President Reagan since John Hinckley shot President Reagan for her?
Okay, but listen.
No, I'm not listening. I want you to answer that question. John Hinckley said that he shot Ronald Reagan for Jodie Foster. Should Jodie Foster have been arrested and charged with shooting Ronald Reagan?
She didn't tell him to do it.
Didn't tell him to do it? Well, either did Trump. Thank you very much. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Ugh. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Cool Roy in Richmond.
Hey.
Terry needs to put the crack pipe down and stop playing politics. This is the whole problem. A lot of the problem, and if you remember when Obama was president, his favorite lecture was, we must never just play politics. Well, that's all they're doing. And when people just play politics, when does anything good get done, except for when Trump was president?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Brian, I love your heart and your passion, and I'm so proud of you for what you do. Have a great day, my friend.
All right, well, thank you for your call. You know, that caller before that one, you know, what a pathetic person. None of us are responsible for the actions of others. And a lot of people committed a lot of crimes on January 6th. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But just because someone commits a crime in your name, just because they do it, they say, for you, doesn't mean you are responsible for that person. People commit crimes all the time for all kinds of things. Okay? Very rarely do criminals get arrested for committing crimes and say that they did it, and they did it because they wanted the money, or they wanted to do this, or they always have an excuse. There's always an excuse given. Doesn't matter. Okay? Furthermore, you know, Black Lives Matter and Antifa had the summer of destruction in this country in the name of the Democrat Party agenda. I never heard anyone hold the Democrats responsible for the burning down of cities and neighborhoods throughout this country. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian Lewis Station. Hey, listen, this situation, these callers about racism and all this stuff, guys, give it up already. The race card is old. It doesn't work anymore. And the other thing is, they keep trying to push our buttons. You know, these liberals. Look at Jason Aldean. Everyone went in an uproar about his song. Guess what? His song is now at the top of the charts. And it's making history. It just shows that when you mess with the undercurrent, you're going to get caught in a riptide. You know, and folks need to wake up. You know, we got one chance to get this right in 2020, coming up in 2024. We don't do this, guys. Have a bag near your front door and an airplane ticket ready. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, we'll be, you know, we have a Cuban exile community in South Florida. We may have to go back to Cuba. There may be more freedom in Cuba than we have in this country if they're allowed to continue with this. I mean, think about it. This judge that's going to oversee President Trump's arraignment today and the trial was appointed by Obama and worked at the law firm with Hunter Biden at the same time. Are you kidding me? And she's going to be the judge judging the front runner against Hunter Biden's dad, her ex-coworker? That's not a conflict of interest? Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the Oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. We're going to see a high today of about 91 degrees, which is really close to average for this time of the year. We'll see a slight chance of some showers and storms, but overall, not too bad. Pretty typical August fare. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw. Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shop.
Oh.
Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
1 hour to go, people. And I will have a podcast after the arraignment. I want to gauge what's going on with Trump, and then we will podcast after that. And of course, my podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast, is on all podcast platforms, and I also upload it to YouTube.
You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right part just a click away, and when you see the green check, you know the part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. That's traffic. Bar.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 3rd through the 6th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with your favorites, Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum. Your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
Former President Trump heads to Washington, D.C. today to appear before a federal magistrate in connection with the charges made in Tuesday's indictment by special counsel Jack Smith's grand jury.
Overnight, police officers putting up metal barriers around the federal court.
Now I'm pumped by the disgust that's going on. I have this much caffeine every day.
With his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election results.
ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. Daniel Donnelly Jr. busted in St. Louis on charges of taking part in the insurrection of 2021, using the stolen shield to attack.
I thought that was a good point I made with Hinckley and Jodie Foster. He didn't even know who Hinckley was. That guy. That's what you're dealing with on the left. He didn't even know who I was talking about.
Recommended he be put to death for murdering 11 worshipers and wounding 7 other people. This is ABC News.
You can host the best backyard barbecue
I mean, that's who we got on the other side. Even after I told him he didn't know who Hinckley was, I mean, he was just pretending. I just didn't want to focus in on that too much. By the way, those of you that are Patreon supporters, Patreon updated their platform so that I can upload some videos, like exclusive videos to Patreon supporters, and I started doing that yesterday. So if you're a patron, go and check those out. I made a video. I'll do more of them as time goes on. And if you're not a patron, there's a link in the video description. Yeah, so the podcast, since I'm going to wait for everything with Trump today to upload, I'm not sure what time it'll be online, but I got to wait to get some resolution, I think. Been listening since 2015 and have never called. Oh.
And I'm sure you've already heard the news. We are moving and we are so close you can hit a 9-iron shot. It's on the corner of alternate A1A and Indiantown Road next to Publix. We have been serving Jupiter for over 40 years. We strive to make buying new flooring for your home friendly, fresh, and convenient. We offer lots of options from America's top brands and always the best prices. Mention this ad and receive a free gift. From one local to another, Will Floor U is your hometown flooring store that has it all. Will Floor U in Jupiter store and Will Floor, the letter UFLA.com.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Steve's not here with us. There was, last night, Steve received an award. There was an event last night that we didn't tell you guys about. I'm not going to tell, I'll let Steve tell the story, but there was an awards, well, there was an event in Steve's honor last night where he was given an award. And I was on my way to the event, which was way far from my house, and about 20 minutes away before the event, I got a call that they changed the venue to another location in the complete opposite direction of the original location, and I missed the whole event because by the time I'd get there, the event would have been over, and I missed it. And I was really decked out too, man. I was wearing some fancy award show kind of clothes. So that event went very late last night. Steve will be back with us tomorrow. But sorry I missed the event. I really wanted to go. I was supposed to get up and speak and do all this stuff, and so I didn't even get to do that. I had prepared remarks. I had a whole thing planned, and it was like my big moment, and I missed it. But I told Steve's wife what I was going to say so she could take what I was going to say and she could go up in my place, but, whatever. So that's why Steve's not here today, but he'll be back tomorrow. There's a story in media. Let me read this to you. After learning he would face yet another criminal indictment, President Trump dined with top Fox News executives at his club in Bedminster. They urged him to take part in the upcoming GOP primary debate later this month. This is also being reported in the New York Times. And I don't know, has Trump posted anything on Truth Social about this? Until I hear him post about it, I'm not going to take the story as the gospel, but I'm going to go through the details that's been reported. Under no circumstances should Trump take part in that debate. And it's interesting that Fox is begging him. Fox is on life support. And if the next day the ratings are the lowest ratings in history for a debate, even in a primary, that's going to be devastating for Fox. He doesn't need Fox. They need him, and he should not do the debates. There's no purpose to doing the debates. This is very likely to be the first presidential campaign in modern history without any debates between candidates. And I don't mean just primary. I don't think Biden would debate Trump. So I don't think that's going to happen. And you know what? It's about time. The debates are useless. The debates are as useless as a congressional hearing. They do nothing. The only reason there's debates that are is so that the television can get ratings. It's a moneymaker. Well, without Trump, it's not. But it's a moneymaker advertising-wise for the networks. No debates. I mean, think about it. What is there to gain for Donald Trump out of these debates? And that's not to say that there haven't been great moments in debates. Ronald Reagan had great moments, but did he need the debates? I don't think so. No, I don't know. And we have done nothing. Republicans have done nothing but complain about the biased debates for as long as I've been coherent. Okay? And no one has ever been able to fix them or change them or do anything. And I think what we should just do is stop having them. Have you ever voted or not voted for someone because of a debate performance, even in a primary? Not me. I cannot remember. That's not to say that there haven't been fun moments that we don't enjoy or talk about and recollect. You know, that's you know. Even President Trump, his debates in the first campaign were historic and fun and humorous, and we'll be laughing about them for the rest of our lives, but that's not why he won in 2015. So no debates ever again. The debates are always biased against Republicans, always, even if they're on Fox. Back to the story, though. Jonathan Swan and Maggie Haberman reported Wednesday that moments after Trump learned he would be indicted in this D.C. indictment, he met with Fox News president Jay Wallace and chief executive Suzanne Scott for dinner. The Fox executives lobbied President Trump to appear on the channel's GOP primary debate scheduled for August 23rd, appealing to his vanity by saying it's an opportunity to show off, the New York Times reported. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, see, this is so typical. They believe this. They believe that a big ego is hidden by a really small ego. Come on, you can show off. Show off. They still don't understand at Fox News. Trump has stated publicly that he may not attend the debate in Milwaukee. In fact, he did an interview with Breitbart. He's kind of teasing that he might at the last moment. The dinner with the Fox executives and Trump, according to the New York Times, lasted 2 hours. New York Times, the Fox executives made a soft appeal. That sounds to me like they were begging, right? The Fox executives made a soft appeal for Mr. Trump to attend the debate. Two of the people familiar with the dinner said, telling the former president that he excels on the center stage and that it presents an opportunity for him to show off his debate skills. See, they think he's pathetically insecure, these Fox News executives. Several people who have tried pushing Mr. Trump to debate in recent weeks have argued that if he does not show up, he could be giving an opening to other candidates to perform well. Who cares? You know, this presidential debate without President Trump is the equivalent of a mock debate at a high school. Mr. Trump told the Fox executives that he had not yet made a decision and would keep an open mind, the three people said. The Fox team requested the meeting. The dinner was supposed to have included another participant from the network, Sean Hannity, who was friendly with Mr. Trump, but he was doing his 9 p.m. show and couldn't make it. I don't buy that. He could have skipped one night to go have dinner with Trump and these people. Why did Hannity not go? Didn't go because of his show. He could have taped the show and made it. Despite his legal troubles, media reports Trump is currently the Republican frontrunner, commanding a lead in key states such as Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada. Yeah, no, please do not do the debates. The debates are a trap. And Fox News is so desperate. Maybe they should have been carrying the Trump rallies all these years. You know, they stopped carrying Trump years ago. You know, Neil Cavuto, after January 6th, this I remember, this was unreal. I had Fox News on. This was after the Capitol breach. President Trump comes on and Cavuto's on. And Trump comes on, he cuts away and says, the President of the United... This was Cavuto. He said, the President of the United States is speaking. We will cut away because he could incite people to do things, and we will monitor, but we can't have incitement on this. Yeah, exactly. You know, I've never liked Cavuto, and even when I was a Fox News watcher, at 4 o'clock, I turned it off. I could never stand Cavuto, never could stand the guy. But that was the final nail in the coffin for me with that guy. Now, please, President Trump, do not do the Fox News debates or any other debates. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of this hour. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's Restaurante. Listen up, for all the locals out there, it's time for a deal. Half-price entrees? Yep, you heard me right. 50% off all dinners from 4 to 6, Wednesday through Sunday. And 20% off the whole entire menu to go, including the best thin crust pizza in town. Forget about it. Where else are you going to get delicious beef braciole, linguine clam sauce, lasagna, pork chops? Nowhere. My prices are insane. Stop going to those fugazi joints. You're not going to find great food and entertainment like at Uncle Eddie's. Where else are you going to go and have the owner sing for you? Come down to Uncle Eddie's, 4050 US 1 just north of Donald Ross Road, 561-508-7799. Hurry up in.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, to buy one, get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way, too.
Go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. Now, what does it say? Beware. If you were 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at wearersv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about our family dentist in the Kane household, Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. From cleanings to implants, he does it all. We love Dr. Gupta at our household because he takes the pain and the anxiety out of dental work, all at an affordable price. Call Dr. Gupta at 954-922-4633. Tell him Steve sent you.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right, just slip in. To do hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down to put them on. You don't even have to touch them. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Vicky, and I'm calling from Port St. Lucie.
Hey.
Good morning. My brother went to New York Military Academy with Trump. I am crazy about Trump. I love him. But I wanted your opinion.
Heard a butt, see?
I don't really know what to think of, like, Laura Ingraham and Jesse. Because Jesse Waters, they seem to be, giving us fair assessments of what's going on, the deep state and everything. But I'd like your opinion about.
Well, I'll tell you, okay? And I almost moved to Port St. Lucie recently, but I didn't. You have the highest property taxes. You have the highest property taxes in the state of Florida. in Port St. Lucie. So I have 67 counties, and you've got the highest. That's why I didn't move there. Anyway, not to get side. I'm serious. I was going to move to. I forgot that. What's that new area where they have that fake town square? It's really nice. You know what I'm talking about? You know that area I'm talking about? I was going to move right over there. Tradition. I was going to move to Tradition. That's right. And then the property taxes. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, 4 times what I pay in Palm Beach. Anyway, about Laura Ingraham and Jesse Waters. Okay. Fox News has not aired a Trump rally in years. Okay? They have not aired Trump events and speeches in years, with 1 or 2 exceptions. They have been anti-Trump and never Trump for years. They bring on Mike Pence. I've seen them even carry Pence speeches. Okay? And since they fired Tucker Carlson, there's been a mass exodus of viewers from Fox News. In fact, on the Drudge Report right now, they got the ratings last night. Number 1 in cable news primetime is Rachel Maddow. Okay? She's kicking their butts. MSNBC is beating them. So a lot. What you're seeing on Fox is a desperate move. A desperate move. You know, like I saw, they used to have these videos back in the 80s called Faces of Death. And they showed a guy in the gas chamber, and they turned the gas chamber on. He's being executed, and he was holding his breath, you know, like because he was like that was going to say. So you've got what I call desperate actions by some Fox News personalities. It's trying to sound like they're MAGA, to try to get lure us back, like these executives begging Trump to do the debate, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I used to be so loyal to Fox.
And Laura Ingraham, I'll just tell you this about Laura Ingraham, okay? I've never been a fan of Laura Ingraham. You know, I was listening to her once when she was on the radio, and she didn't know her mic was on, and she was yelling at her board op. And it went out over all 400 stations she was on, and she used the F word. Now, I have hot mic incidents, too, on occasion. I had it happen yesterday. But anytime there's a microphone on, I talk as if it's on. So I don't have those incidents. She was screaming at her board op and dropped an F-bomb right over the air. I heard it. It was beautiful. And they didn't dump it because she's down. But Laura Ingraham goes way back with Kellyanne Conway's husband from the Lincoln Project. In the 90s, when Clinton was president, she worked very closely with George Conway, Kellyanne Conway's husband from the Lincoln Project, and also very, very vocal Never Trumper Ann Coulter. She is a part of the establishment and cannot be trusted. Okay, and Jesse Waters is friends with the Trump sons, but I don't like guys that let the air out of 20-something-year-old female interns' tires while the mother of their children and wife is at home with the kids, and he's trying to hook up with girls that work at the channel. I don't like that. There are people at Fox News that are good people, but they've got to pay the price for what Fox News has been doing. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay.
All right. All right. Take care. I appreciate it. Yeah, and that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. You know? They should have been a little more respectful to those of us who made them number 1 in cable news. Now, I want to finish up on that, but first I want to talk about Dr. Philip Appleton, who for the 5th time rid me of pain. You know, my shoulder was really in some bad pain from my skateboard accident, and he treated me with his laser away pain treatment, and it is gone, and it is not returned. And, you know, he has treated me several times, right? My knee pain. I hurt my shoulder once before in another accident. Okay, this is my 2nd accident with the shoulder. You know, he rid me of my arthritis pain. You know, my knee pain he treated me with over 1 year ago. And I suffered for years with knee pain, and it has not returned. None of the pains have returned. It works. His laser away pain treatment works on so many different types of pain, too. Arthritis like it did with me, bursitis, work injuries, sports injuries, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, rotary tears. I thought I had a rotary tear. Luckily, I didn't. But it works on rotary tears, herniated discs, and so many other things. With Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment, there are no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. That's right. And also, you pay as you go. There's no contracts. Also, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, but call ahead at Dr. Appleton's and they'll text you to your cell phone directions to his office if you need them. You can find Dr. Appleton online at AppletonChiro.com. AppletonChiro.com, or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And I'll tell you about Fox. Fox News was on the air for 6 or 7 years before they got popular. They went on the air in 94 and no one watched them. And then during the 2000 recount, they were the only outlet that was giving fair and balanced coverage during the 2000 recount. And that's when they went to number 1 during the 2000 recount here in Florida. And we made them number 1. And now they hate us. They hate us. They don't, and like the Republicans, you know, Fox News was reporting that 50% of Republicans will still vote Republican if Trump's not on the ballot. That's their mindset with the viewers. They're starting to realize we're not coming back. That's why they're begging Trump. I remember, this is such a funny thing that I saw happen, okay? When the 2000 recount was going on, they first were counting the ballots at the Broward County Governmental Center in Plantation, which is behind the library on Pine Island and Broward Boulevard. And I just so happened, my wife and I had a condo then. We lived down the street. I went there every day. And all the networks were there. I was there so much, sometimes whenever I see stories on the 2000 recount, I see myself in the background. I saw myself on the History Channel once arguing with a black lady on camera when they were doing quick things. You have to know, you have to be looking to find me. But anyway, William Lajeunesse, who's still with Fox, was here covering it for them. And during the breaks, when he would do his segments during the breaks, I would see conservative people go up to him and say, "We just found Fox News. Thank you. Thank you for what you're the only ones who report the conservative side, the only ones who report the truth." Right? And I remember one day, it was like every break, one day there were these 2 guys that were wearing Newsmax t-shirts. Now, I've always been a fan of Chris Ruddy. And Newsmax didn't exist as a TV channel then, right? They may, I don't even know if they had the magazine during the 2000 recount, but they had a website. There were these 2 guys wearing Newsmax t-shirts standing behind William Lajeunesse when he was reporting. And when they cut away from him, he got into an argument with these guys. He said, "Stop standing behind me while I'm on the air." And they didn't say anything. And he kept yelling at them. And one of the guys said, "This is a public place. I can stand wherever I want." He says, "Those shirts are an advertisement. Stop standing behind me advertising that." And they kept doing it all day. And it's so funny that it was Newsmax way back then during the 2000 recount, and now Newsmax is kicking their butt right now, right? There's always been a conflict. But we made Fox News number 1, and they betrayed us just like Ron DeSantis betrayed us. And just because there's somebody there you like, I know a lot of you like Mark Levin, well, that's tough. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Home Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. We're going to see a high today of about 91 degrees, which is really close to average for this time of the year. We'll see a slight chance of some showers and storms, but overall, not too bad. Pretty typical August fare. I'm WPBF 25 First Morning Meteorologist Sanford.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best.
I got a question I'm going to ask when we get back.
PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now,
He texted me, so I haven't heard back from him. He texted me at 7 that he was on his way.
Oh, no. The other thing. About the transmitter.
Yeah.
I've been looking out.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. He called.
He did call?
He called. He just didn't bring it up.
Okay, I was about to say, I've been looking for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
This report is sponsored by Valero. Gas savings in the lower Valero 100 days of summer. Get fuel savings, snacks, swag, and more every day all summer long.
I'm going to ask a question when we get back about Trump and Fox.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 3rd through the 6th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with your favorites, Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum. Your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At Laporta Contracting, family is what we are, and roofing and restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At Laporta Contracting, let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. That number again is 954-604-4602.
Hi, this is Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers. Are you looking to sell your home without the stress of a bunch of strangers walking through your home and having to make all kinds of repairs? If you want to sell your home fast and easy without a realtor and save thousands in commissions and closing costs, call me at 561-570-7070. We follow all social distancing guidelines and can make you a cash offer over the phone without having to visit your home. We'll do our absolute best to make your home selling experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. You can even get a $10,000 cash advance before the closing and stay in your home after the closing, so you don't need to worry about quickly moving out. Whether you have a damaged fixer-upper home or a beautiful home that doesn't need any repairs, we can buy it. If you want to sell your home fast and easy, call us today for a free offer. 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070.
Where are we?
561-570-7070. Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise, and you're all invited. Except
Well, I take the calls screenless, so I don't know who's on the phone until I get them on the air. That's the
Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of celebrity.
that's what happens when you go screenless.
To the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties. We'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call me in at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation. 561-244-5779.
He's just a racist. That's all. He's a racist.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We're so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned, family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition
Well,
World
just
at
because I
96
haven't
PG Boulevard and Prosperity
talked to them doesn't mean they haven't called in. I don't take the calls just as they. Sometimes I don't take calls, and there's people on hold like now. I haven't taken all the calls that have come in today.
626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections.
If I did that, I wouldn't be doing a talk show. I would just be like giving out the phone number for people to call in and do their thing.
754 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show today. Steve will be back tomorrow. Okay, I'm Brian. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. All right. Just one last thought, and then I'll take some calls at 1-888-465-2631. Just finishing up with Trump meeting with the Fox executives. They came to, and if you missed the last segment, the two top Fox executives went to President Trump's home in New Jersey and begged him to do the debate later this month on Fox. And I don't want him to do any debates, but let me ask you this question. If this would be, I'm always going to go along with whatever Trump says, okay? I will never disagree with Trump. I will never criticize Trump, and I will always follow his lead. Whatever he tells us to do, I'll do it. You know, he knows what's going on. There's a big picture here. So let me ask you this question. If Donald Trump made a deal with Fox that he will do the debate in exchange for them carrying the rallies, would you be cool with that? I would, and I'll tell you why. We would have done much better in the midterms than we did. We won the midterms, by the way. We fired Nancy Pelosi. There wasn't enough up in the Senate to take over the Senate, but we took over the House. Although it doesn't seem that way lately this week, does it? If Fox would have carried the Trump rallies, we would have done better in the midterms, okay? Because unless you watch Right Side or Newsmax, you didn't see this. You didn't hear about these great candidates, even in your own state, at the Trump rallies. So the question is, if Trump agrees to do the debate in exchange for airing his rallies, would you be okay with that? Would that be a smart decision on President Trump's part in your mind? I'll let you hear your thoughts on that. I think it'd be a spectacular idea. People need to see those rallies, you know. Newsmax carries them. Not everybody has Newsmax. Right Side Broadcasting carry them. Not everybody watches Right Side Broadcasting. You can't win preaching to the choir. You've got to proselytize a little bit and reach people that are undecided or maybe think they don't like you. So I think that'd be a pretty smart decision on President Trump's part if he could get them to agree with that, and he'd have to get it in writing. You can't trust those snakes to do it. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. 1-888-465-2631. But of course, whatever Trump says to me is okay. I'm always going to go along with what President Trump says and does. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. All right, you're right. Have you noticed we haven't been hearing liberals calling in gloating about this indictment? Do they know something we don't? Do the liberals know that this indictment is going to fall apart or something? Why are the liberals not calling in and gloating? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
We don't.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, turn the volume down of whatever device you're listening to in the background. Turn the radio down.
Mark from Pompano.
Hey, Pompano.
What's going on? What's your opinion with the job that the special prosecutor Jack is doing?
Jack? Do you know him? I think what he's doing is god-awful.
Why do you say that?
Because it's obvious what's going on here. President Trump is being prosecuted because he is number one in all the polls, including the polls against Biden.
Forget about all the polls. Talk about what he's doing. All the people who are going down around him. The pool boy, the guys erasing the tapes. What? Come on.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question, okay? Well, see, look, our freedom of speech is gone, Mike. We're not allowed to ask questions in America. Why?
Wait a minute, hang on 1 second. You're the one perpetrating the frauds
I mean, come on, guys.
What am I perpetrating?
Fraud. Whatever Donald Trump says for me to do, I do.
Yes. 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 Yeah. So it sounds like Donald Trump occupies a lot of your life. You're very emotional. You're hysterical. Can you tell me why you do not support Donald Trump?
Because he's destroying this country.
What did he do that destroyed this country during his 4 years as president?
Okay, I'll just tell you what he did when he lost the election.
No, you didn't like him before that. I'm talking about before the election. Why did you not like Trump? Why did you not? I'm not talking about January 6th or after the election. You didn't like him before that. So before the election, why did you not like him then?
You are trying to stifle me from talking.
No, I'm not trying. I'm trying to get your opinion. Before the 2020 election, why did you not like Trump then?
I liked him up until maybe 6 months into his
term. Okay, so what did he do 6 months into his first term that turned you against him?
I didn't like the way he talked to people.
Okay, what did he say? Okay, you said you supported him, so you voted for him in 2015, right?
No, I did not.
Who'd you vote for? Hillary? If you didn't vote for him, of course, okay, so you're a Democrat. Okay, so you're a Democrat. So you never liked him.
Does that make me the enemy?
Well, it makes you not the enemy, but it makes you an immoral person.
Why am I immoral?
Well, because you support, as a Democrat who voted for Hillary Clinton, that means that you support abortion, which is murder, and you also support an open border. We're being attacked at our southern border right now, so supporting those two things makes you a bad person.
How come we're not talking about Donald Trump when he lost the election?
Because you didn't like him before. And you grab onto these other things to justify your hysterical Trump derangement syndrome.
Okay. Let's go back to the beginning.
Why are you a Democrat? I'm curious. Why is a man a Democrat?
Why don't you tell me about your when you were in the Cub Scouts and what your mom did to you? Jesus Christ.
Really? You're going to take the Lord's name in vain and accuse me of being molested by my mother? Say a typical Democrat. Isn't that nice?
Did I say anything about you?
Yeah, what my mother did to me. What does that imply? But tell me why you're a Democrat.
Because I'm a proud Democrat.
Well, tell me about what do the Democrats support that makes you support them?
Health care.
What about health care?
Did millions of people get it?
No. In fact, I lost health care under Barack Obama's Obamacare because he drove health care costs up so much that it's not even insurance. No.
Okay. Can we get back to the point now?
No. We can't get back to Trump derangement syndrome. I want to find out what kind of man is a Democrat. So you said because of health care. You think Republicans are opposed to health care?
And I'm for the woman's right to choose.
To choose what?
If she wants to have an abortion or not.
Really? What about the baby's right to live?
Sir, we can go on and on and on. I asked you about...
Why are you even giving an opinion on abortion when you're a man and you'll never have to make such a... Why don't you tell us why you really are a Democrat? How long have you been married?
For many years.
Okay. So what about married to a woman?
Are you a wise ass? You're the one that, I talked to you about it before.
And I have no recollection of talking to you before.
About you coming out of the closet?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't challenge my manhood.
I'm not challenging. What would be unmanly? You're a Democrat. Why would being gay be a challenge to your manhood? Can't real men be gay? What makes you say as a Democrat that real men can't be gay?
This is the third or fourth time I've asked you to talk about Trump losing the election.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a monkey who's here to perform and talk about whatever you want me to talk about.
I called your show.
But this isn't a show where you call in and I'm a monkey. This is a show where intellectual minds meet and are challenged. So my question is, why would you think that a real man cannot be gay? Can real men be gay?
Are you gay?
No.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're perpetrating a fraud to your wife.
Uh-huh.
And I've told you that before.
Yeah.
So let's get past that. Let's go back and talk about...
Now, see, it's very interesting that someone... There's the Trump derangement. Always back to Trump. Always back to Trump. It seems you're uncomfortable as a liberal Democrat with men being gay.
Wow. You like to flip stuff. I called to talk. I asked you the first question out of my mouth.
I responded. Believe me, I don't want anything out of your mouth. But I responded to everything you've said, but you just want to keep going back to January 6th. So other than abortion, why are you a Democrat?
It's like talking to a wall, talking to you. You're just perpetrating fraud to all people out there.
I'm not perpetrating fraud. Listen, you're very lucky. You're very lucky. I'm 1 minute late for a break. Okay, so I've got to discontinue this conversation, but I want to end by telling you that real men can be gay. All right? Go talk to Mr. Grinnell, who worked for President Trump. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Great. How the metals looking?
Looking somewhat stable after getting down to the low end of our trading range, $1,930 basically. Yesterday we saw gold trading in the range of $1,932 to $1,955. Down in closing at $1,934.20. That was down $9.80. Silver lost 6 cents, or 61 cents, I'm sorry, at $23.65, while platinum was down $12 at $919. And palladium gained $4 at $12.18. This morning got a little bit of a rebound after getting down to $1,929 with early on. Right now at $1,936, that's up $1.80. The high for the morning so far is $1,939. Silver minus 15 cents right now at $23.50. Platinum up $1 at $9.20, and palladium $12 at $1,230. Weakness during the summer months as usual, but giving us great buying opportunity.
That's right, meaning the metals are on sale. I want to ask you a quick question, because I was talking to someone yesterday about gold, and this could apply to silver too. But a lot of times I'll ask you, what's the best deal on gold today? And you'll tell me the kangaroos or maybe the Krugerrands are a better deal today. And so I was talking to someone yesterday afternoon, and they were asking me, because people, there comes a time when they might sell their gold, might sell their silver. Does it matter when someone comes to you to sell if they have a variety of different coins, like they have some gold eagles, they have some kangaroos, they have some Krugerrands, they have those beautiful coins from Austria? Does it matter, or should people try to have like a uniform collection of their gold or silver, like all kangaroos, all Krugs, all American eagles? Does any of that matter when they come to you to sell?
Well, in small quantities, it doesn't make any difference. In other words, a lot of people just love getting as many different countries' coins and forming a little interesting collection and with the pictorial history on each of the coins and so on and so forth. But when you're talking about larger volumes, when you're buying hundreds of ounces of gold coins or something, then we usually recommend you at least break it into units of 50 or 100 coins of each type. that makes it more tradable, a little bit more tradable, and usually you can get a little bit more money when you're selling them back.
But that's for big time. So, but for the average retail person that buys an ounce or a couple ounces here and there, it doesn't matter, is what you're telling me when they come in.
Accumulating a variety of countries' coins, it's wonderful.
It makes it more interesting, and the coins are, some of them are just so. You were talking about the Chinese coins. If you guys have not seen these Chinese coins, they are really cool and unique, and have fun things on them too. All right, listen, give William Youngerman a call, and these questions I ask him, you guys can call and ask yourself too. They'll answer all your questions. They open up at 10 a.m. 1-800-327-5010. That's 1-800-327-5010. Online at williamyoungerman.com, or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve King Show is on the air.
Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, hey, Jay.
Hey, I love that last caller before, William Youngerman, the guy before him. Oh,
Really?
good. He really knew how to get with you.
Get with me? How did he get with me?
He knew how to handle you with the way you try to go off subject all the time like you do with me. He knows how you are.
Listen. It is not up to on Friday we have open phones. When Rush Limbaugh said on Fridays it's open phones. We turn the program over to rank amateurs where you can decide what we talk about. The other 4 days, the other 4 days of the week, professionals decide what the subject matter is, of which I'm one of them and Steve's the other.
He wasn't talking about abortions. He was talking about Trump.
It doesn't matter. Listen. I'm going to give you a little. I'm going to give you a little bit of the Colonel's secret recipe of how to host a radio show. Okay, and I can give you all the inside secrets. It wouldn't help you because you have to have talent and a brain to take any of these tips. When you're talking to a caller or a guest, what's most interesting is to talk about what they don't want to talk about. Because usually what happens is they're uncomfortable for a reason. That guy was very uncomfortable with the things I was asking him about. And I thought, oh, yes.
The rails, and you sound like an idiot, and you try to make the caller sound like an idiot whenever us liberals call up.
Listen. I'm very good at what I do, but you do a better job at making yourself look like an idiot each and every time than I could ever hope of doing.
Brian want a banana? Does Brian want a banana?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them for you. But let's talk about what I called about.
Yes.
Liberals are scared to call in right now. When we're winning, we're just not.
What are you winning? What are you winning? What are you winning?
Oh, we're arresting that scum bucket again.
For what? Who you talking about? Scumbag? Who's getting arrested? OJ get arrested again? Who got arrested?
No, your boyfriend.
Who's my boyfriend?
Trump. You know Trump nuts are. You know
Trump.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't want to act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The sleazebag is being arrested again. You really think they don't have the evidence on this nut?
No. What evidence? What evidence have you seen?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to let me talk about it. So why would I?
What evidence have you seen?
Seen when he stood up there the day of January 6th and told the people to head to the Capitol.
Well, first off, he said peacefully, and second, none of the charges against him involve that. No. Excuse me, the charges against him do not involve the Capitol breach. No. Jack Smith's charges against President Trump, none of them involve January 6th.
You got to be kidding.
No, I'm not. I know it's hard to believe, isn't it?
Let me ask you a question. Did you realize he's going to be arrested still again?
Mm-hmm.
In Georgia?
Yeah, probably.
Because he's an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Like you. Want a banana?
What's with you and the bananas? You know why he's mentioned? See, he watches me on YouTube, and I was talking during the break. deathly allergic to bananas. I just mentioned that for some reason during one of the breaks, and he was watching. Now, I want to tell you guys, if you notice, I have some people out there that don't like me too much, and that's why I have a doorbell camera and a security alarm system from Sloman's. The Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer is back for a limited time, so listen up close and take advantage of this. If you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone like I have, and you can see your home no matter where you are. Sloman's, they're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They're going to give you an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery. And if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So give them a call. This is a limited time offer, 1-833-283-5050. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Dave in Virginia.
Hey, Dave.
Yes, I believe that Donald Trump should make the deal with Fox to hold his rallies if he'll do the debate.
He'd have to get it in writing because you couldn't take them at their word that they would do it.
Yeah, and secondly, I think that this will show which Republicans do support him because they're on vacation right now, and whoever goes to that courtroom, them's the ones that really support him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to be paying attention to who is not there with the president today. Since it's in Miami, they had an excuse. Oh, well, it's fine. This is down the street from where they work. I saw a guy last night ride his bicycle from the Capitol to the courthouse. It's right down the street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the place with all the satellite trucks. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Brian?
Yes, Doris.
Yes, Doris. I'm having a heart attack here. Where is our dear rabbi? Your rabbi that always calls it.
Rabbi David.
Yeah, where is he? He always calls in. But we need prayer today. And that's the one thing that's going to give us what we all want. Help for our precious America and our precious dear Donald Trump. God bless them.
Absolutely.
Everybody pray. Bend God's ear, and we'll have a happy Brian tomorrow morning saying, "Hey, did you hear what happened? Hallelujah."
All right, Doris. Take care. Thanks so much, Doris the tent. We call her Doris the tent lady. For those that don't know, many years ago, she's an elderly lady. She went and bought a tent and pitched it in the parking lot of our radio station and lived there for a week, praying for the radio station. And we had this one liberal guy who had a poodle that he brought to work. And while Doris was living in the tent in the parking lot for an entire week, day and night, we let her into the radio station so she could use the facilities and things like this. He would take his dog out to do its business in front of her tent every day. Every day. His name was Jim. I thought he was a nice guy. He's no longer with us, Jim, but that's how liberals operate. Was that nice? And we call her Doris the tent lady because of that. And that's really amazing. She wasn't just praying for the radio station. She was praying for the people inside who worked at the radio station. I was pretty touched by that. I thought that was a pretty nice and cool thing that she did. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Rabbi David.
Oh, Rabbi by demand.
Yeah, actually, I should say our main sir. But I tell you, I don't think you can get it in writing from Fox because I don't even know if that's allowed, really. To get in writing that they have to cover a certain.
Yeah.
Problem. It's a real problem. I don't know if it's legal. To.
I certainly wouldn't trust them. Well, he could sign it. He could sign a TV contract with them to carry his events. Absolutely. Why couldn't he do that?
Maybe they have to have that they sign something with the opposing side. There's a whole.
Yeah. Who knows? You're probably right. You're probably right.
And thanks, Doris, and keep up the great work. And let's.
That's right, Rabbi David. We always need to hear from him. Well, listen, guys, tomorrow is Friday. That means open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything is fair game on Friday's show. However, I would imagine that primarily we'll be talking about what happens today in Washington. And I mentioned this at the end of yesterday's show, and I'm going to mention it again today. I was going to take a couple days off to go visit my daughter in California, and those plans have been canceled because of the news events that are going on. I don't want to take a day off. It was this weekend. I was going to take off Friday and Monday and go to California. Those are canceled. And I have not rescheduled the trip because what's going on right now is very, very important. So we're going to be here every day covering all of these god-awful things that they're doing. And, you know, these liberals that have called in today at the end, they just don't understand what they're advocating here. They want to live in an America where political opponents that are winning against the establishment are jailed because they're in first place. That's not America. That's Kenya. Okay? And I use Kenya because I started the show today, 3 hours ago, talking about Obama's role in the arrest of Trump. But I don't have time to recap on that story. But if you missed the beginning of the show, go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. Each day, about an hour after we go off the air, the entire show is uploaded as a podcast, and it's archived up there forever. trueoldiesfla.com. All right? My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year. Steve will be back with us tomorrow. Everyone, God bless America, and of course, God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow morning.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD.
All right, guys, I got to get out of the way here, but I'll see you later on the podcast, all right? Take care.